to LA. Gonna go dive the oil rigs for the first time. Had the opportunity to dive the Olympic wreck and the oil rigs with my very first tech student, Chris. Chris is now a rebreather diver, and so I jumped on the opportunity to take my KISS Sidewinder to the oil rigs. I've been diving a number of years, but I've never done the oil rigs, and so definitely wanted to jump on the opportunity to do that. Here we are at the Olympic wreck, and pretty cool little wreck. The boat itself is kind of scattered about the ocean floor in about 90 feet of water. Not a lot of marine life for some weird reason, but it was cool to kind of swim through the different little passages. We could have done a penetration if we'd wanted to, but it was kind of tight quarters, so I ended up just kind of swimming with Chris, who's done this dive before. As you can see here at the Olympic, the visibility was really nice. A lot nicer than what we would normally see at La Jolla Shores this time of year. I would say it was a good 35, maybe even 40 foot of viz. We were on the Pacific Star dive boat. I believe they do multiple day excursions from San Pedro. I think they do a number of trips out to the islands, not just Catalina, but all the other islands as well. Very nice boat, has some roomy accommodations down below deck, and they fed us both breakfast and lunch. Pretty good food. As you can see, we're still diving the Olympic here, and again, viz really nice, but not a lot of marine life around the wreck itself. A bunch of starfish, a couple of other miscellaneous types of fish. I saw this little Spanish shawl just kind of hanging out on one of the beams. There was also some scattered kelp around the wreck. I don't know if that is the kelp dying out because it's El Nino, or if this area gets really, really kelpy. But during the dive, you can clearly see there were kelp fronds all around the ship. Here's my buddy Chris and his Liberty. And now we're at the oil rigs. At the oil rigs, definitely marine life all over, and just a plethora of marine life at all depths. Deepest we went was, I did a bounce dive of 200 and then came back up and kind of hung out at 120 and saw this Mola Mola. It was kind of far away. I couldn't get too close to it. It didn't want to allow us to get close to it. But I would say it was approximately about the size of a human. It was definitely, 5 foot, maybe even a little bit bigger than 5 foot. This was my very, very first Mola Mola sighting, so I was really excited to be able to have seen it. We also had our DPV, so that made the oil rigs a great treat to kind of cruise around. So as you can see here, again, a plethora of fish. And because we were in our rebreathers, these fish could not care less how close we got to them. Visibility at the oil rigs was fantastic. We could easily see the other side of the platform from one side to the other. You can see all the other divers swimming about through the pylons, and just a ton of marine life everywhere. I would definitely say if you have the opportunity to dive the oil rigs, jump on it, because it was well worth the trip up to LA to do this.
Let's get started.
Very cool to see all this marine life taking refuge underneath an oil rig. All things considering, oil rigs have such a bad stigma to them. Hope to see you down below.